Yo, Bagels and Boxing back on a Saturday.
What up?
Coach is in the house here, helping us out a little bit.
Yep.
And actually, for a big fight weekend, this weekend, we have UFC NOCHE. We have Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. Bunch of other things going on. You got Shannon Sharpe getting all goofy on the internet, which we're going to talk about shortly too. Coach, what's happening?
Nothing. Just getting a little excited for the weekend.
This is a big weekend.
It is.
This is one of the biggest weekends we've had in a long time. Like, I can't remember when it. Well, there was Canelo versus UFC on last year, but nothing. This one's a good one because I think it's going to be an exciting fight, regardless.
No.
So, and then
as long as it lasts,
it ain't gonna last long, I don't think. But we'll get into that as we go. First thing right out of the gate, I want to talk about. Did you see the Shannon Sharpe thing? Obviously, everybody in the world saw it.
Yeah.
What's your honest opinion of that? Because I have my own. Not that it's our business, but there's something going on here.
There's some legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some legs to this story. I don't know. Could it be fake? Maybe. But why would he want to do it fake? I mean, he makes enough money. He's
wants
popular.
More money.
He's popular, you know. I know there's some stuff going on with the phone, but still, you know, you have to log into Instagram. You have to do that. Did the girl set him up? I don't know. What do you think?
No, because I think the girl would have. I think Shannon Sharpe would have outed the girl immediately. Said no, she put it on. She did this or whatever
Michelle?
happened. But you figure you have to open the internet, open your app, log in, swipe, and then go live. And then you got to say, "Are you sure?"
Yep.
And then you go live. Magically, in this whole process, nothing happened. No, he somehow.
So this is another thing too. Hold on. Didn't he say that his manager or someone,
he had access to it?
could he have access to put that? Could he have access to turn it on live?
No, how are you going to do that?
Because he turned it off, right?
Yeah, but is it going to be on his camera?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I really don't know behind the scenes of that, but
it definitely makes it look like something fishy's going on. But here's what I thought, since I'm a marketer here.
Go ahead.
You can tell Georgie Bagels, you know, buy your bagels here locally free. I mean, free. What the hell? Locally fresh. I meant not free.
Yep. Maybe free for Lyco.
He was promoting those ED pills.
Yep.
Because he immediately had a fistful of them right in the beginning of that episode. So that tells me that there was something going on.
But he was going to say
50 some years old, close to 60, and all of a sudden because he kept saying like, I was a man, I was a machine.
Yep.
So that begs the question: was this just something for money, or was it just an advertiser he wanted to get on? I don't know.
But couldn't he do it a different way though? That live stream on IG, he could have did it something different.
Who's done that before? Who's done that before?
Live
Anybody?
on IG?
Yeah,
nobody.
Exactly.
Okay.
When Kim Kardashian did her tape, what happened?
She blew up.
All of a sudden, next thing you know, she's the next biggest thing. She's not even an actor or anything. She becomes a reality TV star. So this has never been done. Never been done.
So let me ask you this: do you think?
If this happened, if this was an accident, it would happen a lot. It would happen a lot.
Okay.
I mean, the only time that something like that ever happened in my life was my wife had Snapchat.
Yeah.
And she went like this to put it back, and it snapped a picture, but it was a picture of some obscure.
It wasn't
thing.
a picture of you, was it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
But it was. What I'm saying is, you know how long it has to happen for. You have to have so many things go on to have that happen.
Now, what about this? I know it's not a big deal, but do you think he's trying to, put all the rumors down that he was gay? Do you think that's?
No, because at this point, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're gay or not. Who cares?
Well, no one cares, but maybe because he was an NFL star in the locker room.
Wait, was he going to go back?
So why was that the first thing he said that Cat Williams called him and said? That was the first comment that he said. Oh, I got a call. He could have said the first thing was, I got a call from, live from Dion, and that's what he said, Sanders. But instead he said the Cat Williams thing first.
I mean, yeah, but that's really going out there. That's like far fetched. Now, who knows? It might come out that that's what happened, but that's far fetched.
I'll tell you what, though, Ocho Cinco's hilarious.
That nightcap is hilarious. That show is one of the funniest shows on.
So then, why would he need to?
Everybody wants more money. Everybody. You could tell someone that I'm going to be $1 million. Everyone, but I get $1.1 million. You know what I mean? Everybody always wants more money. That's the crappy part of money. It's intoxicating.
Now, the only thing I would say where I can see it's something set up, he didn't get reprimanded from ESPN.
Well, why would he?
But Paul Pierce did.
What Paul Pierce did?
Remember, he had the prostitutes on.
What's a little different? Prostitution's illegal.
Not where he was.
Where was he?
He was in Vegas, and he was streaming, and then ESPN fired him because of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
About 3 years ago. That's why Paul Pierce said, "Well, wait, what's up with this? It's favoritism. Why is Shannon Sharpe didn't get fired or anything?" But
that's a good point. That's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but there was a lot of them. There was a lot of prostitutes.
All right, but what I'm saying now is that what makes me think it is set up.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's just so many questions. Instead of like, it just seemed like he made a show about it. He came on the air and said something. It just seemed way too packaged.
Mm-hmm.
He had the pills in his hand. He's not getting fired. And if something happened like this, you wouldn't put a show on it. You'd have your own thing and say, "Hey guys, I screwed up."
But do you think his PR team is good enough to try to say, "Okay, flip it. Let's make this look like it was set up"?
Wait a minute, his PR team. What do you mean?
Like, oh, here, take these pills. Make sure you promote this, and so it looks like it was set up because maybe it was really something that happened.
Yeah, but if it was something that happened, who cares? We're in such a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about this. Nobody. You could do anything behind your closed doors in your bedroom, and everyone would think it's cool. Honestly, there's some wild shit that I've heard, and people are just like, it's okay. I mean, some people just like that. I don't know. I mean, so I think it's more to make money for him because I don't think. And secondly, somebody would know who this Michelle person is.
Yeah, somebody would know an outer.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Michelle Beadle said it wasn't her. She came right out and said, "It ain't me." So there's something there. There's something there. Somebody would say something. You cannot keep a secret anywhere.
No, because just to say, if you went out to eat that night with a girl,
that's who she is. You know, of course they would put it on, internet.
TMZ will have pictures of them eating or something.
Somebody would have something. I mean, they caught him in the airport with his dog, which looked a little weird.
He had a dog?
He had like a little poodle he bought, and he was walking around, and some guy like.
Was he carrying it in a little pocketbook?
Yeah,
oh, gee. Oh, geez.
Yeah. It's almost like he was like, "Really, dude? Really?" And I'm like, so the gay rumors, that's been around for a while, but you would think he wouldn't have kids. It wouldn't be. He was a pretty prominent guy, I'm sure, out there. You know, I'm sure he was out there doing his business at some point. I mean, he's told stories about,
and he's told stories that he's what is
caught in bed with that one guy.
Yep. He's told stories that
excuse me, caught in bed with that one guy's girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the guy walked in. They were like, and he said, "Let him go."
Didn't he have a gun?
Yep.
So there are stories out there about him being heterosexual, not a homosexual. So what happens at this point? I think I bet you he'll get. Well, he already has a.
Now I'll tell you this. I know, like maybe about 6 months ago, him and Ocho was on there talking. He did say, you know, he's a 1 minute man. So then now the pills. So that right there,
I just think it's a pure marketing thing. I don't buy it because there's so many steps you have to go through because and IG is good at that. There's so many steps you got to go through to get to making it going live that I think that you have to hit every button exactly.
Yeah,
every button exactly to hit it there live, and then also you catch yourself having sex.
Yep,
that's weird. That is weird.
Yeah,
and it's definitely something that we have to look into. But no, not us. What do we care? But let's get to the fights tonight. UFC 306.
Yep.
At UFC Noche at the Sphere. First time I saw some of the stuff with the Sphere. It looks
the droids.
Drone.
Drone. I mean,
the side. You've been hanging out with Jay-Z too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are going to be. It's really the Sphere itself is more of an event. I think it's going to be better suited for like a concert or something like that than a boxing or UFC event. That's what I think. I don't know how it's going to come off on TV, but I could tell you from what I've heard from Kevin and the people who were there, it is going to, if you're there, the experience is going to be well worth the $3,500 ticket.
$3,500.
But they're cut now. They're cut now. But still, let's think about this.
That's not that bad.
Oh, for that experience?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how much U2 was, but U2 goes throughout the world.
Yep.
Concerts. So it's not like it's a one-time thing. They go back to Vegas here and there. So I think it's the event itself that's going to cause it to make a record gate, which is going to make the other thing is people calling it a flop. It's not a flop.
No.
It's going to be extremely profitable. Probably not UFC 300, but what event is?
The only thing I would do, I would probably get the fight card could be a little better. Could be a little better.
I think they had a cut there because there's only a few fights. There's not a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I think there's 10 fights on the show. There ain't many fights. So that alone tells me, okay, they're cutting a little bit. But also, I don't know how many people on that level of a higher level would want to fight on a show where there's a lot of unknowns. What's going to happen when they're on the ground and they're looking at all these big, you never know. Any little slip up, and I said to Michael Bond, if there's any little slip up, that could potentially turn the trajectory of your career.
Oh, yeah. So
I don't know. What would be your biggest concern going into a fight like that if you were fighting on that level? If you're training a guy, hey, what am I looking at here?
So,
and they haven't seen it. They have not been in.
Yes, that's something too different. They haven't been in.
Yep.
They're keeping it a real secret. I think looking, if the octagon is going to be right by the screen, right?
I mean, right by it.
That's the one thing.
Yeah. I was thinking the heat.
That's another thing. Maybe I would have the people train with the cage closer to a wall because the one side is not going to be
exposed to the crowd.
Yeah. That's why I think that's going to switch it up a little bit. The heat, like you said, I think to Kevin, I think you said the heat.
Yeah. But what about that where you if you slam the guy in the mat and it shakes?
I don't know how it's going
to affect anybody, but I would be concerned if I was the trainer to be the first event there. You know what I mean? If I'm on a high level, like a Sean O'Malley, like a Merab, that's a high level to all of a sudden slip up in a fight like this where if you win, yes, it's great. And then I like the people say, well, we're both dealing with the same thing. Well, maybe one isn't used to that. Maybe one isn't that. That's not that it's not fair. It's just,
but like, I think, who said it? Mike said it, like, even like the lights could get you like a little seizure. Some people are like that.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, even like the video games.
Yeah.
Video games.
Music videos are the same way.
Yeah. So I think overall, it's number one, it's going to be a financial success. Number two, it's going to be an experience. I don't think they're going to go back there just because there just isn't. I don't think you can make that the investment of $23 million. Oh, it's going to be over $23 million. The event itself to put together.
How many people does it hold?
He only said 14,000. That's big, but it's not like
because I could see WWE going, but then I was like, no, for only 14,000
for like a local event or something like
so much money for that.
Oh, that's true. $20 million. I don't think.
Now I can see a draft going there, like an NBA draft, an NFL draft, because it's a screen and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
I can see that.
What would be the experience?
Just I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, don't throw it out. It's just stupid.
I'm just I can see that. I can see like a draft going there.
I think it's concerts. I think mainly it's going to be concerts, and I don't know what would be virtual. What could be virtual there? Other than fights, and you can't do a soccer game, you can't do a football game because it's like a theater. What I'm thinking we're going to a place where eventually we're gonna have it. You're gonna have it where the field is right there,
just like those new bars
around you.
Those new bars.
You talk about a scale. That's a huge scale to do that. You're talking massive amounts. I think Kevin said it was 12K or 120K.
14. Yeah.
Some crazy number. We can't even get 5K on TVs.
Now, the chairs moving and all that when someone gets slammed and all that, did they have to put that into the chairs?
It's already in there.
Oh, so it's already in there. Okay.
Everything's already in there because they would do it for U2. They did a thing, and I guess they said somewhere where there was a show there or something, and
like the wildlife type.
As they were going through this thing, like it would look like a spaceship going through the air under your chair was like it felt like you were flying, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that's a massive undertaking.
Well, Disney's been doing that for a while.
And I think that's kind of where they got the idea from, having experience. Because there's not so much more you can do. It's now the experience.
Unless without being in the freaking octagon.
That's what I'm saying is the experience. Like how much more can you give? Well, I think the next thing to be at sporting events is going to be you're going to be able to bet right there at the
Well, technically you can.
Well, with your phone,
everybody has a phone on.
I mean, this is going to be very easy. I think it's going to be very easy. Boom, put the bet in, and we're good. You know what I mean? Right there on as you're going. Definitely that where we're heading. That's which I think is a slippery slope. Because how much more can they get? How much more can they get from a customer? You know what I mean? How much more?
Yeah.
If they had MGM or somebody put that betting system in their chair, and not by the phone, maybe put it there where you could bet MGM takes X amount of the profit and UFC gets X amount. You know what I mean? Like something.
Now I can see like a little pad right there.
Well, that's what I mean.
And then you can do like casino bets, like not casino bets on the fights, but like do roulette, electronic roulette or something like that.
I think that's possible, but I think that's also that's readily available there. I don't know how hard it would be because the internet, if it's slow or whatever, I think they make it a high-speed internet access. You put whatever bet you want in, put it in right there at the table. And I think, how much more money you're going to make at these events. Because the gate's at $23 million. So
did Kevin actually go in there or no?
No, he was in the mock-up in Dana's office. And that's, Kevin was probably the first one. He was the first one to go in. Was the first one to go in there.
Well, the mock-up, not the original.
Not the original. They won't let anybody in. They're not letting anybody in, even the fighters. Sean O'Malley, I said, he's like, I haven't been in.
That's just something.
There was something that would scare me if I was not so much a fighter, but if I was a trainer or a manager and I had a guy in there who was, potentially can make big money if he wins this fight. I would be like, nah, man. Well, let's go where we're comfortable.
It's just like going to the first card of Fight Island. You didn't know what to expect.
Well, you expect an octagon and no fans, but an octagon. So you know that. Yeah. Okay. This is distractions outside of the ring. They're saying it's going to be like in real time, like you're almost in I picture it being he keeps saying it's going to be a movie. Yeah. Like the movie. I picture it being like the Roman times, and as it's going, it's like
because that's what he said.
It's like it's going to be a love story to Mexico. Yeah. Until finally where it comes up and there it is. That's what I believe it's going to be. Which would be incredible, which again goes back to the concerts and the other things that they have. So either way, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting night. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out on TV. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the fights. Yep. If the fights suck,
well, ultimately it's going to fights.
If the fights suck, it doesn't matter how good it is. It's just they're not gonna go for it again. Not at that price point. But Dana White is way smarter than I am. So
I don't think it'll. So with those fights, I don't think they're going to be. I think Shevchenko's not going to be an entertaining fight. I don't think so.
They weren't really. So Shevchenko beat the brakes off.
I would have wanted like a Max Holloway.
Do you realize she won?
Yeah, no.
7 out of the 9 rounds. Yep. So it's not like it's going to be anything in particular. If all of a sudden Alexis Grasso comes out and gets her ass kicked, that's not a shock. Yeah. 7 of the 9 rounds went to Shevchenko as it is.
Like the Ortega type thing.
That's a good fight, though.
Yeah, he's a good. That's the type of fights you want on a card because he's going to.
I don't know if Ortega's got it anymore, though. I don't know.
He took too many wars.
Lopez, I think, has the advantage there as a younger fighter. And not.
But you would imagine a Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway fight there.
Oh, my God. Or where he got knocked out and it shook. The mat shook.
That would have been different. You want something like that, like a Alex Pereira. Like
I thought for sure they were going to sneak Conor McGregor in there.
Even that. I mean, Conor versus Chandler, and that's what we can go to after this. Chandler's fighting
Oliveira. Yeah. Which, all right, well, let's go to the fights first. So, Brian Ortega versus Diego
Ortega is one of my favorite fighters.
I love Brian Ortega. I just think that Brian Ortega is at the end of his career. I think he's had too many injuries. Yep. I'm going to tell you now with injuries, not only is it a physical thing, it is a mental thing. Because just 2 weeks ago, I thought I was physically ready to get back in. I felt great. My arm, I was throwing nice hooks. I had one sparring session and I just had a mental block where I couldn't throw it. And then I threw it and I got hurt. So I knew right then
because it's in your head.
It's in your head.
It's in the back
It's
of
in
your head.
Now this is at this is at a low level. You're talking about high level like this. How many injuries has he had? Figure shoulders, his knees.
He was jumping up his ankle
roll. I mean, my God, like there's so many other little things.
Yep.
That's got to take a huge toll on him. And if it doesn't
the
take
wars,
a toll,
and
the
the
wars,
wars.
just the wars. The
Max Holloway
the Max Holloway fight was he got beat to hell.
I think his time was that Alex fight. He needed to tap him out.
Yeah,
that was his time to win, and it didn't. And Alex came out. So that was it. That was his time.
That was a big loss. That was I don't know how that he got out of that. Alex got out of that, but it was incredible because the way he flipped back out of being, it was in a bad spot.
Yep.
Flipped back, got Volk in that position, and then he loses. That I think that really not only mentally it's screwed him up a little bit.
Yep.
So now, so who do you see in that fight? You know, I'm picking Lopez because I really think
because even
it's his time.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Lopez because even with Ortega, his last fight against Yair, he was getting hemmed up in the beginning.
Yeah,
in the first round.
And Yair is on his backside. Is on the backside.
Yeah,
of his career.
So that's what I think. I'm going to go Lopez, just a younger, fresher fighter, just hungrier. Now, if it was maybe about 6 years ago, this would have been a good fight.
I would say
when Ortega,
even 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago.
Ortega, you know, when he was jumping, doing T-City and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he was popping off there for a while.
Yeah,
and I actually liked him too. I do like him as a fighter. I do like him. I think he's a guy who you could hitch your wagon to and say this is a role model for someone who had nothing, had a lot of problems, and then came back up to turn his life around. No problem. In the fight game, it's a little different. They don't care what your story is.
Yep.
And now here we are, 5 years later, where he should have been in a better position. So now we'll go to the co-main, Valentina Shevchenko, Alexis Grasso. This will be the first trilogy in UFC for women.
Yes.
Alex Grasso, champion, incredibly tapped Shevchenko the first fight.
Yeah.
So, but she was getting beat.
She was
getting beat. Let's go to now the second fight. There is a 10-8 round, which was not even close.
Yep.
Wasn't even a 10-8 round. 10-8 round, and then she wins. Grasso wins. It would have been a draw if it wasn't the other. If it was the other way. I still think Shevchenko won that fight.
I think she
should be 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
So now here you go. Now with this fight, this is for pretty much all the marbles right here. This is because you got to move on from this fight.
Yes,
you can't do this again.
It's like the AJ versus Usyk.
I know. Which again, who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
And you have a fight there that
we got comments coming in.
Yeah, I got comments coming. I just got to read them a second. But you can't have this fight again. This is. There's only one trilogy that I would want to see. What's that?
Conor versus Nate. And even that is kind of like, ugh. What we got?
Big long tongue. I'm rubbish about. You can see my weak spot. I have no idea. Okay. I'm rubbish at boxing. I don't know who the hell it is, but he said.
What was his name?
I don't even know. It's hard to see because I need my glasses. Let's see. Big long dong. It's like Clarence Thomas.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, so who's your pick today?
Bullet.
Okay, Shevchenko.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Shevchenko. I think it's gonna be.
I'm going to unanimous decision.
I think it's gonna be unanimous decision too. If she doesn't tap her, I don't think she's gonna get. I don't think Valentina's gonna get caught again.
I think Valentina's gonna be
pretty dominant.
Yeah.
I just don't think she'll get caught again. No way.
No.
So go to the main event. The main event is probably one of the more anticipated ones. I didn't think O'Malley was going to take it. Now, O'Malley was not a huge underdog, but like 125 underdog when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, the line started to get close to even. As of last night, O'Malley is the favorite.
Let me look real quick.
What website you use so we know?
FanDuel.
Okay, so FanDuel.com. Anyone who wants to do that, go there. If they want to sponsor us, they sure can.
Yeah, they sure can. Yeah. Just loading in. Let's see. But
come on.
So what do you think? What do you think with the fight? Go ahead.
Okay, so here's my thing on the fight. I think at first I thought Merab was going to maul him, get him down, take him out, whatever. Kevin had told me, and then you had even said, hey, he gets hit a lot. So I said, let me go look, because I'm not as up on the UFC in the lighter weights as you are.
He's favorite
Kevin.
122.
Yeah, he's favorite 122. So now it's starting. I think that gap's starting to widen here.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to see what I see.
And Grasso is the favorite too. That's weird.
But, well, you got to figure she's 2-0. It's 2-0 against her.
Still,
I would jump on that.
I will.
Valentina. I would take Valentina in second, in which I would have taken O'Malley as the underdog. Because
yes,
but I was picking Merab.
Yeah.
But as I said, well, if he's the underdog, it's the only way you're going to make money. So let me
finish.
Give you what I think. So when I first saw that, and then also I started looking at the fights Merab had, he was getting caught a lot. The one that kind of raised that red flag for me, Henry Cejudo, when he caught him with a left hook. Henry Cejudo is smaller than me, and I'm small.
And he doesn't hit hard.
He rocked him, and he rocked him really bad. Sean O'Malley comes out fast, and he's long, and he's rangy. Even Teddy Alice was telling me how great of a, like, if you saw him, you'd say, oh, that guy's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He's a good boxer.
Well, he was boxer. He was amateur boxer.
But I'm saying, like, you would say, this is a good fighter. He knows what he's doing, knows where to pinpoint his punches. So, that being said, I would, if he was, now he's a favorite, but if he was an underdog, I would have picked O'Malley.
500 on it?
Oh, I would have put definitely $5. Definitely. Easy. That. So I'm kind of down on Merab.
Yeah.
And actually, when I saw the difference in height and size, I said, holy shit.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is if Merab is a tough dude, if he can get a hold of him and can somehow maneuver, although Sean O'Malley has great takedown defense.
Well, not great, but good.
He's good, but he's good at it.
Yeah.
He can get out of positions. I think you still lean towards O'Malley unless it gets dirty. If the fight gets dirty, then I think you lean towards Merab. As it goes longer, lean towards Merab.
So you had
at first. I think it's an end in the first or second round. I think O'Malley will knock him out.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're not going to get hit like Cejudo hit him. O'Malley ain't letting you off the hook. He's going to finish it.
Yeah.
So Cejudo just didn't have that. Didn't have it. Like, he hit him and he rocked him backwards, O'Malley would come finish him off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think O'Malley's boxing is probably one of the best. Him and Max Holloway's up there.
Although we thought Nate Diaz was good at boxing, it turned out he wasn't.
Yes, Nate Diaz just. But anyway, I think O'Malley has to, stay the distance the first couple rounds, get that sweat going so Merab can't grab him. Got to get that sweat going. Now, if you look at Merab when he fought Peter Yan, he really demolished Peter Yan.
Yeah. And
Sean O'Malley probably lost.
I thought he lost.
I thought he lost too. Yep. I thought they gave it to him because they knew that he was going to be the up and coming. But I just think O'Malley's just too big for him, and he's going to be right on point. And I say third round knockout
for O'Malley.
Yep.
So we're actually
because now if you see that O'Malley's starting to put in the knees involved, his throwing the knees more, like when he hit Cheeto. So I think he's gonna start coming in and hit him with a knee. I can see probably a knee because I don't think Merab can take a knee like Cheeto did. If he hit Merab with that knee, oof,
Merab would have been out.
Yeah,
because Merab got rocked by again. Go back to the Henry Cejudo fight.
Yeah,
Merab got rocked by Henry Cejudo, who's small and doesn't punch, particularly hard. That would let me to believe that if he gets hit by one of those big bombs, he's going out.
Yep.
And you got to remember also, O'Malley beat his training partner.
Yeah,
pretty handily. Pretty handily.
Yeah, you predicted that.
Oh yeah, I thought for sure that was happening. Yeah. Did you pick him?
No, I picked Aljo. I thought Aljo was going to wrestle him.
Yeah, didn't pan out, huh?
Nope.
So there it was. Our picks now so far. We have me and you both kind of agree on this. This is a first.
Yeah,
and you agreeing on this. Although I did have Merab at first. I did switch.
And I was thinking with Merab with the wrestling, but again, just the sharpness of O'Malley.
I think his length and his ability to pinpoint those shots is going to knock him out. I can't see any way that if he hits him that hard and that often that he can, you got to get in. Merab's got to get in. I don't think he can get in.
And Merab cuts. He gets cut.
Well, he's already cut.
Yeah, he gets cut.
That's the other thing. He's already cut. Already cut once. If that cuts opens in the first couple of seconds of the round, oh my God.
Dan supposedly has a staph infection. Do you see that?
I saw that. I don't know if it is. I don't. That could be AI.
Yeah, true.
On these people, they do all this shit. So let's go now to right down the street at the T-Mobile Arena. Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar the Chosen One Berlanga. Now, we're Puerto Rican.
Yep.
Obviously, we should cheer for Berlanga. I like Edgar Berlanga. I do. But he is going to get destroyed.
Yes. He is.
This is not the fight for Edgar Berlanga.
No.
I know. I think he was, and I think it's a little unfair. I think he was set up for failure. You reel off 16 straight knockouts, first round knockouts.
Yep.
Eventually, it's going to be, the bar is so high. And then you saw he upped the competition just a little bit.
And he
struggled.
Yeah.
He struggled. His chin is extremely suspect.
Yep.
Extremely suspect. He was training with, I forget who it is, sparring with 16-ounce gloves. I think it was Lubna. I forget his name.
Okay.
And he dropped him. That's 16-ounce gloves with headgear. And Lubin, his name is Lubin. Lubin is not particularly strong puncher. He was talking. I heard a show with somebody talking about the fight, saying, you know, Lubin's my training partner. I know he doesn't hit that hard. He's 154 pound.
Wow.
And he's like, now he's getting dropped by them, but I've seen him dropped a couple times as an amateur.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Silly too.
Like silly. When he gets knocked out, he does the old Jerry Cooney.
Yep.
He implodes when he gets hit and he gets knocked out. But you know, this is a fight where I think, and I predicted this. I thought he was going to go Munguia, and then he was going to switch right over to Berlanga, and then switch right over to Benavidez. I thought he would do it in the Sphere, but now that I'm seeing how much it cost, it might just be the T-Mobile Arena, or if not, Dallas.
Yeah, I think Dallas would be the best thing right there by Mexico. That would be the biggest, you know, over 100,000.
And Benavidez is from Arizona, I think. I think he's from Arizona, originally.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's from Arizona originally.
LA, no?
No, I think it's Arizona.
Okay.
But I think so. My point in the whole fight is, if Canelo wants this to be his showcase fight, which I think he wants it to be, because I think people are starting to get off his bandwagon saying like, hey man, you either got to fight this guy or not. I think this could be a spectacular knockout. I think it's set up for that. A spectacular knockout. I think they were trying to set up Charlo for a spectacular knockout, but Charlo ran.
Yeah.
And I think once this happens, I think people are going to see that Canelo it hasn't lost as much, because I've always said Canelo's lost a step. He's lost a step. He's lost a step. I don't think he's lost a step. A little bit, but I think he was injured with that. I think his mentally
IQ.
I think his IQ is, which again is a big point in this fight. I think with his IQ, he's jumped. It's jumped tremendously.
Berlanga's more of a street fighter. He's gonna throw bombs and that. Canelo's gonna
wide open, man.
Yeah, Canelo's gonna just box him and just tear him apart. I think.
Honestly, I'm saying he's gonna knock him out within 5. I think he's gonna put him out.
I don't think he's gonna knock him. He could knock him out in 5. I don't think it's because of Canelo. I think it's more of Edgar's stamina.
Stamina.
He has bad stamina.
I think it's gonna be his chin. His chin is horrible. His chin is terrible.
But that's his stamina is going to get to the chin, and then that's where it's going to.
I think if you're getting dropped by 154 pounders in sparring, 16-ounce gloves, headgear, you have a serious.
He should have fought Charlo first.
I don't know if he beat Charlo.
What about Plant? Plant's a good fight. I like Plant.
Plant's really good. The only problem with Plant is here's the thing with Plant. They say that Plant, he can't punch hard, and then he has a knockout of the year against
Durrell.
It was Durrell, knockout of the year type of knockout. Guy can fight. I've always thought that Caleb Plant was one of the best fighters.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember him as an amateur in the U.S. Nationals. He was 175 pounds.
Wow,
he went down in weight.
Wow,
yeah, which is odd. I know who did that once. Montel Griffin and David Reed. They went down. So I remember that.
Wow, David Reed. I haven't heard that name.
David Reed, yeah. Olympic gold medalist right here in Philadelphia. One punch against the Cuban, remember? He was behind in all the scores. He had about 10 seconds left. Knocked him out in one punch.
Wow.
Yeah, I said, yeah. You were young. So overall, you're just looking at a Canelo knockout.
7th round.
7th round knockout. I'm gonna stick with my prediction of early knockout. I think it's gonna be early night. I think he's gonna do the UFC fans a favor. To have to watch the show as well. I just don't see this. This is a fight that they were going to put Charlo in. So, thank God they didn't.
So this is the thing. Last time Canelo fought against the UFC, He waited until the main event was over to walk out. To the ring.
UFC is 1-0 against Canelo.
I know.
Yeah.
But he waited until the main event was over and then he went.
Mm-hmm.
Will he do that again? You said.
I don't think he can do it again. I think he's going to go in and knock him out. But I think he's going to throw all his chips in. Say, I'm going to show you that. Canelo's a very prideful guy. They can say, look, I'm the guy on Mexican Independence Day, not UFC. UFC is a huge brand, though. They can, man, and it's just the experience. Maybe, I think it would probably depend on how it comes off on TV. If it comes off really good on TV and people don't want to miss it, what's like, holy shit. Look
at the Sphere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then maybe he does that. He's the one who chose. Evidently, Canelo was the one who said, no, I'm not going out.
What do you mean? What?
He was the one who chose to sit down.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so he was the one who did that. So do I think he will now? It would all depend, I think, on how the fight goes. If the fight goes,
do we have any comments? I don't know.
Yeah, I got a comment here. But this is Jax.
It's Jax.
That is Jackson. What time do you think you'll be done? Well, Jackson, very shortly.
What's gonna? Oh, geez, Jax, come on.
Yeah, I know. Jax is we're finishing up here, Jax.
I know.
Come on, we're trying to do. So we're in the middle. The bagel shop is still busy right now. And I gotta get stuff done. All right. So anyway, then we go to now. Let's go. We both agree Canelo. So we're kind of 4 for 4 on our picks. Go to a fight that I'm looking forward to, but I don't know if it's going to be that exciting. Danny Garcia, Ederson Lara. Lara, not an exciting fighter up until the last couple of fights where he's knocking people out. Danny Garcia, a lot of layoff here.
Yep.
I don't know how he's going to perform that way. Okay, what does this say? No, Jax.
How Danny Garcia's weight? How was it? How did he look at the weigh-in? He
looked good.
Did he?
He looked good. Look muscular. He looked fit.
He never really got out of shape. Never got out of shape.
He was always good. He was always pretty good. They say a lot about his power. He don't have much pop. I think he has some pop.
That hook's no joke.
That hook's no joke. I think we've seen him growing up here in the amateur scene for a while, and I think he was a guy who we knew was going to be very good. I always say he's a Hall of Famer career. Me and Kevin had it out on that.
I know.
And I think I think he's a Hall of Famer.
I do too.
I jumped the gun by saying first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, Mike Tyson's first ballot Hall of Famer. Go through his stats.
I didn't even think Tyson was that good.
Tyson was good. When he had that career there. He never beat the big guys.
No, but
he never beat that. The one guy he beat was Michael Spinks. That everyone was like, "Holy shit, Michael Spinks!"
But he was scared in the long back.
Scared of that. Yeah, he was scared of that. Yeah. So he won a lot because of that. But as far as him knowing being a first ballot, if you look at the stats and look at the people he's fought, a lot of good matchmaking.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's a Hall of Famer. I would say he's a Hall of Famer. With this
first
fight, yeah, you said it.
Wait, you're talking about Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, but I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think I messed that up.
I think Garcia. Going to this fight, I think Garcia is going to win split decision. I can say going 12.
I don't know if unless Ederson Lara is incredibly boring. I think
he's been through some wars.
It'll be a unanimous decision.
Okay. From Danny
Garcia. But I do see it wouldn't be surprised if Lara got knocked out. Okay. I think Lara. Well, but they're both closing in on the end of their careers. I think Lara has more mileage on him because of his amateur fights in Cuba. So my guess, if I was going to take that, now Jim Lampley disagrees with me. He thinks because Lara had the more extensive amateur career, he wins. I think it's going to be opposite. I think that's the toll that's taken on him. Garcia's had 2 years off. I don't think that the ring rust plays much more effect in Garcia because he trains out of Philly. You have fights there every day.
Now, let me ask you this. The 2 years off, was it because of an injury?
No, he just wanted the right fight.
That's the thing. If it was an injury that it was layoff, I could say, okay, there's going to be an issue. But he chose to take the 2 years off.
Yeah, he chose to. So it's a little different.
Yeah,
definitely a little different. So let's go now to the final bout that we're going to do. It's not really a great bout, although he is undefeated. McCombie against Caleb Plant.
This should have been I think it should have been flipped. I think
Oh, really?
Berlanga should have fought Caleb Plant as a co-main event.
Okay. Oh, that
co-main event, and then beneath Canelo versus
Benavidez.
Yes.
Well, it couldn't have happened. Too much money. This is a fight where I think McCombie, who's been caught with steroids, I think he's a guy who has a pumped up record. He's undefeated, but pumped up record. He looks older than he is. I mean, he has his hairline. He got terrible hairline and his little stupid mustache. Yep. I mean, he looks worse than he is. My gut feeling is this is going to be again showcase fight, but I think you're going to see Plant against Berlanga down the road. Now, one of the things.
So showcase fights for who?
For Caleb Plant.
Okay.
Because he needs to get back on the horse of, knocking someone out, doing it.
I mean, he's slapping people behind, outside the ring, but still.
I think he's just one of these fighters who's underrated.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's underrated. I think he's a good talent. I think he's someone who has
always in the gym.
Always in the gym. Good skill.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of these guys who can definitely show, put people in the seat.
Yeah.
They want to see him. And that's fine. But still, he has to have an opponent. Me and Kevin disagreed on this because I said Berlanga would be next. And Kevin said, well, would you have someone a loss after, he wins and there's another guy that has a loss coming off. But I think the rivalry.
Who else is there?
I think a rivalry there would sell.
Yeah.
I think it would. And that's what I would go with. I mean, I think it would sell. I think the people will be looking for it, clamoring for it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do that, Charles not around. Charles not fighting anytime soon. He'd be the only other one right there. The only two people that he's lost to is David Benavidez and Canelo. The two top guys, the only people he's lost to. So how can he not be considered one of the best fighters in that division? So maybe in Billy, Plant could fight in Billy. Maybe he could. Well, no, the other guy went up to David Merab went up to 75. I think Berlanga is the only a reasonable option there because unless he gets face planted. If he gets face planted,
which one?
Berlanga.
Okay.
Because McCombie's not face planting Plant, and Plant ain't doing it, unless Berlanga gets face planted. I mean, and it could happen, to be quite honest with you. It really could. Unless he gets face planted, I don't see that happening. But I don't see happening. I think Berlanga versus Plant is a match right there. I think it would sell. These two have bad blood. They had two run-ins.
Yep. One
at the fight prior to this. It was at the in Los Angeles with Terrence Crawford.
Yep.
They had that run-in, and then they had this run-in, and it just got wild. Their camp hates his camp. It got really wild. My opinion is it happens soon, and right after that fight. I think it happens right after that fight. So who do you have now?
I have Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant. So actually, all our picks are the same. Only difference is I look at knockout early in Canelo, and I look at O'Malley and knockout early. So other than that,
just two things.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Shakur Stevenson surgery.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that clip.
Did you see him with the body shot?
Yeah, body shot to the hip, and down he went.
Yeah,
that's a little fragile.
16-ounce glove.
Yeah, it's a little fragile there if your hand's breaking. I saw that. Then I happened to see a report that said he needed the surgery and he's going to be out for a while. That's never good.
Nope.
Broken hands are never good in boxing. It's like a torn ACL.
Yeah.
As a running
the Mayweather type thing.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think he's that skilled as Mayweather.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like the hands. He's going to have fragile hands.
He's always going to Jeff Fennick. Always going to have issues.
And then I have one more thing I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
So your son plays football.
Yeah.
You saw what happened to Tua.
Yeah.
So if he was your son after 4 concussions within 2 years, what would you tell him?
Okay. So there's two parts to this. I saw two different things. I saw the first thing is
one thing, he should have slid. He should have slid. He wasn't scoring. He did the first down.
Sometimes athletes are just like that.
Yeah, I know.
They just think that they're invincible. As a kid, I thought I was invincible. I would do, I'll do, and then you get hurt.
Yep.
And once you get hurt, I'm telling you, I could still remember when I got hurt.
When you tasted sand or football?
No, when I got hurt was when I was sparring and I went over my knee. I tore it. When I tore it, it hurt. Pop.
Yeah.
That was from that point on, I was never the same. As far as even moving my legs, I just couldn't. And I was young.
Yeah.
I was only about 23, 24.
Okay.
I was up in Wilkes-Barre at the Odyssey. I'll never forget it. And so once that happens, you're never the same. So that's the first part. When you're on that high level, okay, you slip up once and your career's over. You got someone taking place. So if it was my son, he's retiring. I'm gonna tell him, no, you have to retire, because the long term, I don't know what my long terms are.
Yeah,
I've been hit a gazillion times. Even when I'm sparring regular people, I'm taking a beating. I'm letting them hit me.
Yep.
I don't know what the long term is going to be, and that's anybody.
Yeah,
that's anybody. That could be 115-pound Tristan Johnson. It could be 120-pound Aubrey.
Yeah,
it hurts.
It
just rattles your head. Your body's not meant to get hit. Your body's not meant to get hit in the head, let alone get hit in the body.
Yeah,
it's just not allowed to. So, or not meant to be that way. So, would I tell him to retire? Of course. Now, here is where it gets sticky, and where I think it just shows you how uncompassionate the NFL is. There are people out there saying he should give back that money that he was guaranteed.
Because I think if the medical staff, like if he was forced to retire from like a doctor, he gets his whole guarantee. But if he just is like, it's his decision to retire, he won't get the guarantee.
That's bullshit. What doctor, NFL could probably get a doctor.
Yeah.
But what doctor is going to look at that video? And that is a bunch of times where his body was disconnected. They call it disconnected.
Yep.
It was his brain was disconnected from the nervous system that allows you to do that. They call it a disconnect.
Yep.
It happens a lot in boxing when your hands go straight up like that. Your body can't, your nervous system can't tell, your brain can't tell your body what to do. You can't have many of those. What doctor, and that's what I mean, like NFL's already under a lot of scrutiny for how they protect their players. What doctor in their right mind is going to say, I'm going to clear him to play? I don't think any, but I bet you the NFL could get one.
Yeah.
There'll be a lawsuit. He should be paid every dollar. If you go and take your chance, first of all, I wouldn't have gave him that kind of money.
I know. That's what I was going to say. That's Miami's fault.
It's Miami's fault.
Yep.
I wouldn't have given him that money.
Nope.
I would have said, okay, let's go with Tannehill. I mean, you had him there. Go with somebody else.
Yeah.
Go with Rodgers. They could have gotten. They could have gotten Rodgers back when they signed him. The Packers were done.
Yeah, but Rodgers wanted to. But anyway,
what I'm saying is, what doctor's going to allow him to play? And then for the NFL to have the balls, or whoever it was, I think it was a Mike Golick.
You see,
like, oh, they shouldn't pay him. But who the hell is he? To say not
money. Money's the root of evil. The love for it, and that's the thing.
It's bullshit.
It's going to tear.
He should be given every single dollar. And this is why I never have a problem with these players sitting out. Sit out. If you feel that you're worth that, sit out.
Yep.
Sit out. Don't play. Now, don't pay them.
Now, this is the thing.
Don't pay them.
They can cut you like that.
Sure, that's fine. That's why you got to get your guarantee up front.
Yep.
I remember when O.J. Anderson got that big deal. It was O.J. Anderson or Rodney Hampton.
Rodney Hampton
got a $25 million deal, and then it was like, dude, he's going to play one more year. But his guarantee was $15 million up front. He knew that. He knew he wasn't going to get to 5 years. How can he? He was at the end of his career getting beat up in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And a Super Bowl. So how can that? Where does that translate for him? I don't know. I think it's just a bunch of bullshit that they would allow this guy to play. Listen, if my kid got knocked out boxing and he would look like that, he's not fighting again. It's not worth it. But boxers don't have guarantees.
Yep.
You're only getting paid for your last fight. So if you had $25 million on a contract, like if you had a guaranteed $25 million for one fight,
that's different.
And then okay, that's fine. Then
but they would never do that because they know.
Because boxing, you get knocked out every time. People get knocked out all the time. I feel bad for Tua. I think he's in a bad spot.
Good guy.
But that Miami Dolphins should be ashamed of themselves if they're not paying him.
No, they're. I think they will. I think they will.
Whether it counts against the cap or not, I don't know.
I think it does. I
think that would be. Well, wait. If he retires.
I don't know, but I think it does. I don't know. I think it does.
Yeah, that would
because you still got to pay him.
You got to pay him, but I mean, is that like if someone?
Because look, if a coach gets,
what if he's on injured reserve or something like that?
They still get paid.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's against the cap.
I think so. Or you get
maybe a percentage off or something. There's got to be something down there. Listen,
there's a loop.
If a guy retires because he's got a brain injury, and that anytime you get knocked out, and this is from boxing and football or even baseball, which never happens, you have a brain injury. When your body gets disconnected and your arms start going up like that, man, that is a scary situation.
I would hate to say this. I'd rather have, who's the guy that hit him? Who's the guy that hit him? The guy that hit Tua, that he ran into. The guy.
Hamlin.
I'd rather have his injury than Tua's injury.
Because long term.
Mm-hmm.
Hamlin he's back.
Yeah.
He's back. It looks healthy.
That's weird that it.
And the way he hit him,
yep.
Unbelievable. So again, they gotta. Well, I'll go back to the question here. My son would have to retire. I wouldn't put my son, either one of my children, in that position. It's not. Hey, Landon had a helmet to helmet hit the other day. I immediately when that game was over, said, "Don't do that again."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Well, it wasn't bad. It was one time. You don't know in that one time.
And you got him a good helmet,
real good helmet. And when you hit head to head, man, if he lowers his shoulder, that guy won't do it again. He won't do it again because he'll know that's your shoulder. It's your head.
Yeah,
that's a bad situation.
Your neck gets broken.
Your neck goes back. Yeah. It's not good. So you just lower that shoulder on him. Fine. That wasn't Tua's issue here. He's a small guy. It's not 200-pound guys coming at you. Man, that's my son. I would have done the same thing. I'd probably go to maybe his agent and be like, "Hey, he's got to retire."
I think I would have went to the hospital. We went to that's it. That's it.
Game. Wrap this up.
Yep, that's the last game.
Yeah, I don't.
I think his career is over because of Mike McDaniel's talking. You know, you're the quarterback of your family. This and that. They're already throwing that out there. You're the quarterback of your family, not the. Make sure.
You know what? Give Mike McDaniel credit on that. McDaniel credit on that. It takes a lot because he knows that's his quarterback.
Yep.
That quarterback is gonna run. Although Tyreek Hill has no one now to get the ball to him.
Well,
he might not be on the field much, but anyway,
yeah.
That situation was a little bit overblown. I think.
No, I just wanted to bring it up because I know your kids play football, and
it's a bad situation just in general. I mean, they're trying to make it safer.
I'm telling you, I think we're going to slowly go to flag football.
Not flag.
15, 20 years. It's already an Olympic sport.
I think we're going to go to.
It's already an Olympic sport. How are you going to do AI?
I think you're going to do AI. You're going to have players. You're going to create players that are what they are. You're going to build programs, and it's going to be more using your mind. And
so it's a video game, basically.
Essentially. And it's going to be like virtual reality. Look at the Sphere. We're just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You get involved somehow in there where you feel, you're 400 pounds sitting on a couch eating Cheetos, thinking you're involved in this game, and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where we're going. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think flag football.
Flag football will never fly in the United States. Can't happen.
But it's an Olympic sport now.
So is curling.
I like curling.
All right. We're going to wrap it up now. We got, guys, thanks for watching.
Yep.
We will be
maybe streaming tomorrow right after the fights, or tonight for the fights.
We'll try to get there depending on what time it is. If you guys can, please like and subscribe to the Zapata Brand podcast. Like and subscribe to, if you can, to Straight Out of Jersey. Jay-Z still doing it. He's killing it over there with his talent.
Greg.
He has Greg. He has
a couple wrestlers,
Sandman, and someone else coming up. Who's the Godfather coming up in the future. Also, guys, if you can, please, Kim Nespoli fighting stage 4 breast cancer. If you can, go to the GoFundMe page. It is still up there. They're closing in on a $180,000 mark. I know Teddy Atlas was good enough to give a nice donation there. He is a friend of ours. And if you could, we are actually selling pink light bulbs here at the bagel shop. We're going to light up Berwick on a couple nights and have her. We're going to send that video to her. She's now out in Arizona getting the treatment that she needs. So there is hope there, guys. Yep. So that being said, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. And we will see you maybe tonight.
Peace.
Thanks for watching this